The Live with Squacky podcast is sponsored in part by Mid-Atlantic Voiceover and Antland Productions. Twitter is an amazing platform. I've met so many interesting people over the years that have become my friends. I love it. My guest today is one of the most kind-hearted and compassionate people I know. Teixeira and I met a few years ago on Twitter. Her husband Jacob is an editor, and actually, to be honest with you, I don't always remember how I end up talking to people on Twitter. But I met Allie through Jacob, and we've all been friends since then. It's funny how social media works. Teixeira is an American holistic nutritionist, travel host, actress, and entrepreneur. She is the executive producer and host of food travel show Vegan on a Jet Plane. Allie is the co-founder of Karma Ice Kreme, a vegan, gluten-free ice cream company. She is passionate about helping others look and feel their best by moving toward a plant-based diet and hopes to inspire happiness and positivity in everyone she meets. Thanks so much for joining me on the show today, Allie.
Thanks, Val. Thanks for having me. I'm so excited.
Of course. Well, you and your husband Jacob have written and produced the show Vegan on a Jet Plane. The pilot episode is all ready, right? Can you start telling us about that?
Yes, I'd love to. So it is a food travel show. And I am the host, and I meet with locals, I talk with different experts, I meet with chefs, and I get to experience some different cultural activities. So if you think about Anthony Bourdain's travel shows, it's similar to that, but it's very focused on healthy food and meant to be super uplifting. And it was really fun to put together. We filmed it back in 2014, and it was kind of crazy because I was working at a full-time corporate job at the time when we had this idea, and I was so passionate about the project, I just quit, and we flew to Bali for a month to do this. And then at the time, I had zero hosting or acting or producing experience whatsoever. My husband, you know him, Jacob, he's a professional editor and a filmmaker with great camera skills, so that did help. But after we finished it and finished with the filming, we were in post-production for a while. So we recently finished it a couple months ago. So that was one of the good things that came out of the pandemic with all the downtime at home and whatnot. So it's almost 50 minutes long. And right now we are submitting it to film festivals and trying to figure out the best way to distribute it.
Oh, that's awesome. That sounds like so exciting. I saw snippets of it before when you guys were kind of in post-production, but then did you redo the pilot or?
Yeah, so first we had it was like a 2.5-minute trailer. So that's kind of been on the internet forever.
Yeah,
and
that's
then,
probably what I saw.
Yeah, and then we did like little 2-minute clips and we put those out because Jacob was so busy editing and I was so busy with my other stuff, and we were like, there's no way we can create all of this into one big show. We don't have time. And then when COVID happened in March, I was home a lot more than I usually am. And then in May, he was home more than he usually is. So it was kind of like, this is the perfect chance to finish it and put it together. So you'll have to see it. I can send you the link with the password. I'm really excited for it. It's just kind of figuring out the next steps because I don't know anything about distribution and how that all works, but it's an exciting time. So we'll see what happens.
That's great. Well, I wish you guys tons of success with that. I know it's going to be a great show, so I can't wait to see the full episode. That's great. Awesome.
Yeah. Thanks, Val.
As a holistic nutritionist, what are some of the most common challenges you see that people face in reaching their fitness goals?
I think, honestly, it's people being so hard on themselves and they beat themselves up all the time. I see so many people, they'll say, I just want to weigh this many pounds or I want to be this clothing size. And they're just kind of focused on that end goal and they don't really celebrate a lot of the wins in between, like celebrating, oh, I did lose 1 pound or, oh, I gained muscle or I made a healthy breakfast today. It's kind of more negative self-talk, like I shouldn't have eaten that cookie or I didn't have time to work out on Tuesday. So what I try to do with my clients, I always just try to encourage them to find ways to make their life more enjoyable by including more healthy decisions. For example, I have a Bellicon. I don't know if you've heard of it. It's like a little mini trampoline in my office, and I love jumping on it. It is so much fun. So that's the example. Yeah, I like to use With my clients, like it doesn't feel like exercise. I literally do it when I need a break in the day or I want to just do something fun and watch a show, but it is exercise and cardio, and it's something I enjoy and look forward to.
That's really cool. That's a great idea. I love that.
Yeah, it's really fun. You should get one.
I know. I was just thinking, I'm like, oh, I need to get one of those. Your online course, Vegan 101, is for people who want to eat a vegan diet. I'd love to hear about that.
Yes, so this is for people who are inspired by something and they want to eat a vegan diet, but they don't know where to start. I hear people all the time say, I watched this documentary and I want to eat vegan, but it seems so hard. Or they'll go vegan for 2 weeks and they give up because they can't figure out what to eat. So what I did, I created a step-by-step program to help someone easily incorporate a vegan diet into their life. So I go over things like how to make filling meals, how to order vegan items at restaurants, and basically just how to function in a non-vegan world and still have a delicious meal and delicious food. So right now I'm kind of doing a soft launch for it. But if any of your listeners are interested, they can go to veganonajetplane.com and then just click enroll in the course. And then if they use promo code VAL10, they'll get 10% off.
Oh, that's awesome. That's
yeah.
For sure. Go check it out. I can't wait to go check it out. I haven't had a chance yet to go onto the site, but I'm definitely going to do that. That's so exciting.
Yeah, you'll have to let me know what you think.
For sure. When I first met you, you were just starting to get your foot in the acting door. You've come a long way since then. What have you been working on lately that you're allowed to talk about?
Yes, so I started taking acting classes for fun. It was literally just a hobby I picked up maybe 8 years ago. I just started taking classes, and then the first thing I did a commercial for Geico, and it was so much fun, and I couldn't believe that I was paid to wear a wedding dress and throw cake in someone's face. And then so after that I got kind of addicted, but since then I've developed more of an interest in comedy. So I had a really fun role recently. I was a neurotic interior designer in a web series called Sycamore Valley, if you want to check that out. And then obviously this year has been a little different because of the pandemic with auditions and things like that. But in the summer, I was able to do a few projects. I did something for Isuzu and then another project for Hyundai where I'm more of a spokesperson type role in both of those. And then in, I think it was September, I filmed a series called Burb Patrol. I don't know if you follow any stand-up comedians, but it stars Matt Rife and Jahan Jones. So that should be super funny. I'm really looking forward to that. I think that comes out early 2021. And then I have another project kind of in the works right now, but it's been put on hold because of the pandemic.
Wow, that's great that you've been doing a lot of stuff, even though the pandemic has definitely altered the industry quite a bit. It's good that you've still been able to do work.
It was kind of crazy. So in March, everything shut down completely, or at least everything that I saw in my little world.
Yeah.
And then in the summer, it kind of opened up a little bit, like July, August, September, and then everything closed down again, but then they were kind of doing some filming type things as long as they followed the strict COVID tests, and there's a lot of rules that went with it. But then a couple weeks ago, I know SAG sent out a notice like, you have to do this, you're not allowed to film anymore, but it was like a strong guideline, I guess, encouraging people not to participate in shoots at the moment until the Los Angeles hospital ICU capacity went back down. So then everything kind of shut down again after that. So it's kind of like a roller coaster back and forth. But I'm grateful for the things I was able to do. So it'll just make everything that much sweeter when it's open again.
Yeah, except it's a little different with voiceover work, you know, but things didn't really shut down. But it was like, I definitely booked more over the summer than I did from March to whatever, June or something like that, you know, and then things kind of started to open up a little bit. We got a few more auditions, and then it just varies, you know, it just varies.
Yeah.
It comes in like waves, I feel like, of like, here's 20 auditions, you know, and then you're like, whoa, that's great, you know, and then you won't get any for like, or you'll get like 1 or 2 a day instead of like a lot, you know, so it's really weird how that works.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Hey guys, at this point you should know from listening to Live with Squacky that coffee is one of my favorite things. I'm a bit of a coffee snob when it comes to the espresso I buy. I'm excited to share with you that I recently tried Drew Coffee, and it's fantastic! From the clean, crisp white packaging to the aromatic beans inside. If you love coffee and companies focused on sustainability, you have to give it a try. Use my link to get 40% off your first bag. The code is http://drewcoffee.refr.cc/ValerieK. That's http://drewcoffee.refr.cc/ValerieK. I'll also put the link in the show notes. Try it out and let me know what you think. The acting industry has a lot of great components to it, but can also bring a lot of rejection. How do you stay positive in such a competitive industry?
I'm a little different. I really love the performing part so much. I don't get that much of a sense of rejection if I don't book something. Right now, as I'm sure you know, everything is pretty much self-tapes, and I love preparing them and shooting them and sending them off. So if it leads to a booking, that's wonderful. But I normally forget about the audition after I send it. And if I book something, that's a nice bonus, but I don't obsess over waiting to hear from my agent or anything like that. I mean, don't get me wrong, I feel discouraged all the time, but I don't think rejection from acting is a big cause of that. It's more of because I feel like acting is more of a source of fun and happiness in my life, if that kind of makes sense. And I think something that helps that is because I'm involved in so many other things outside of acting. Like I have my nutrition stuff and my business and all these hobbies. So it's not like I moved to Los Angeles and acting is my one sole focus and that's all I do and tunnel vision on that. It's one of the different things I do that just brings me a lot of joy.
That's great. That's a great answer. I love that.
Oh, thanks, Val.
Do you have any goals for yourself that you'd like to accomplish in 2021?
It's funny you asked this because I did a 2021 feng shui goal setting assignment last Friday. It was part of a Zoom acting class I'm in. And you go through each area of your life and you think about how you want to feel. So how do you want to feel with your career? How do you want to feel with your relationships, your money, your health, and all the different areas? And then you find a photo to go along with that feeling, and then there's a corresponding color. I'm probably not explaining it well, but if you look up feng shui goal setting, it's pretty cool. I really enjoyed it. As for more specific goals, I do them every year in October on my birthday with my husband. We go to my favorite restaurant and then I make 10 goals and then he makes 10 goals. And then we look at the goals we did the previous year. We check off what we actually accomplished, what we didn't. So it's kind of this ongoing birthday goal setting ritual I do. And then Jacob humors me and participates. But I think deep down he likes it. But some of them I've already completed, which I'm super happy about, like finishing our Vegan on a Jet Plane pilot and my Vegan 101 course. One thing I also want to do is I want to go paddle boarding. I've never done that before. And something I think would be so fun if we're looking for a acting specific goal. I've always wanted to be in a Hallmark movie because my sisters and I are obsessed with Christmas movies. So that's been on my bucket list for a while. I don't know if it'll happen during the pandemic, but definitely something I am striving to do.
I could totally see you in one of those Hallmark movies. That's perfect for you.
Oh, it would be a dream, especially a Christmas one. That would just light me up.
Yeah, I can totally see that. Well, you just put it out there, so... You know.
I did. I put it out there in the world.
Yep. If anyone from Hallmark is listening, then you know who to call.
Look me up.
Yep. If you could have a superpower, what would it be and why?
This is so hard. I think it would be teleportation. Because then I could instantly visit places and I could see people, you know, like my family, they live in Virginia near you. So it'd be nice to be able to see them and then come back. And it'd be nice to go to somewhere on the other side of the city and come back and not sit in traffic. So I think it would be really fun I feel like I would just get so much more done if I wasn't limited by the time it takes to get somewhere and park and all of that kind of stuff with it. But then also I think it would be really cool to be able to heal people, like heal animals or people. So one of those. What would yours be?
I think, I would either fly or...
Flying would be fun.
Would be fun, yeah. I would just grab my coffee and just take a trip wherever, and just be like, I feel like going to North Carolina today. Boom, there,
You'd fly with your coffee?
I'd fly with my coffee. I would just be like...
Oh, I love it.
I'd bring my dog with me. Yeah, it'd be great.
Oh, see, now I'm going to add that to my list of possible superpowers because that sounds great. Except I'd bring matcha. I've been really into matcha lately, like matcha lattes. They're so good. They're tasty. I just get them from Starbucks with almond milk. Yeah, they're good.
Well, who or what inspires you?
I am inspired by so many people. One person I really love is Dolly Parton. And I actually put her on my feng shui goal setting board. It was a picture of her and Jane Fonda. I like how she's involved in just so many different things career-wise. And you can tell she's really living her purpose. Like she's a singer and a songwriter. And she has a theme park. And she writes books. And I like how she doesn't really limit herself to one thing that defines her. And I read an article about her the other day. It was so interesting. It was just one of those articles where they interview someone and ask them a bunch of questions. And she shared that she gets up every morning before 3 a.m. and then she does full hair and makeup. And then she makes a big traditional Southern breakfast in high heels. And then around 5 a.m., it's like 5 to 7 a.m. or something like that, that's her quiet, creative time. And she writes songs or does whatever she wants. And it was just so cool. And she just always seems like she's in a constant state of creativity and flow. And that's kind of how I want to be.
Yeah, that sounds really cool. I love that.
Yeah, I love her. And she's so nice, too. I just love nice people.
Yeah. That's good. Yeah.
Yes.
I know you love to travel, and travel is really limited right now because of COVID. But what's first on your list of travel destinations when it's safe to be doing that again?
Well, first on my list, I'd have to be able to see my family in Virginia because we didn't celebrate the holidays together this year, which was so weird. Aww. So I know, it's crazy. I was here in California. I had Jacob and Bellini, which was good, but I missed my family. I've spent every Christmas with them my whole life, so it was very different. But that would be the first place I'd go. I'd go to see them in person. And then after that, I'd love to go to either Japan or Taiwan, because that's where I was planning on going in 2020 before everything happened. And then usually every year I try to go to a new place, whether it's a new city or a new country or something. So that was kind of where I wanted to go. So I think that's where I'd go when things open up after I go to Virginia.
That sounds like a great plan. Yeah, I didn't get to see my mom this year and my brother at Christmas either. And that's so hard. It's really tough. They live in New York. So I was like, oh man, I definitely can't go there.
Oh, I know. Did you grow up in New York?
Mm-hmm. Not New York City, upstate New York. But my mom just moved to Staten Island this past summer. So she lives close to the city now. So I was like, oh, that'll be great. I can go visit and go into the city. And then it was
that'd be so fun.
Yeah. Then all this happened and we were like, well, okay. Maybe not right now. So yeah. It's tough.
Hopefully soon.
Yeah. Can you tell our listeners how to connect with you if they'd like to get in touch with you?
Of course, yeah. So personally, my Instagram is Allie Renee Tex. So it's ALLYRENETEX. And then my Twitter is Allie_Teixeira. So ALLY_TEIXEIRA. And then if anyone wants to learn about our food travel show, Vegan on a Jet Plane, and watch the trailer, you can go to veganonajetplane.com. And then we have all our social media handles and everything on that website for that as well. And then if you want to sign up for the Vegan 101 course, remember to use the code VAL10 for 10% off.
Thanks so much for joining me on the show today, Allie. I can't wait to catch up in person the next time I'm in LA or the next time you're in Virginia. In the meantime, I wish you tons of continued success in everything you do. This is really fun.
Yes, Val, I love speaking with you.
Have you ever wanted to become a real-life superhero? Deciding to eat a vegan diet saves rainforest destruction, reverses climate change, and helps solve world hunger. As an added bonus, people who eat a vegan diet tend to live longer and healthier lives. Live with Squacky listeners can visit www.veganonajetplane.com and use promo code VAL10 for 10% off Ali Teixeira's Vegan 101 course. Again, visit www.veganonajetplane.com and use code VAL10 for a limited time 10% discount to learn how to easily enjoy a vegan diet. Live with Squacky is sponsored in part by Mid-Atlantic Voiceover LLC and Antland Productions.